In the future, when I look back on 2014, one of the main things I will remember will be the inclusion of 16.8 million color RGB lighting on nearly every tech product imaginable. And before the year is over, we will be reviewing at least one more. Also, I got grilled pretty hard for teasing a whole room water cooling video in my last review, but then OP delivered, so I'm gonna tease you again. Whole room water cooling part 2 coming soon.
Save on select Intel CPUs, NUCs, and SSDs with special Black Friday rebates from select retailers. Click now to learn more.
First off, we will explore the physical features of the mouse, except for the lighting, which we will go into more depth later on. It comes with a slightly longer than my wingspan, nicely sleeved cable, which ends in an unusually large USB plug, which has the benefit of being delightfully easy to identify in a mess of other cables. On the other end of the cable is the body of the mouse itself, which is fairly light at just under 100 grams, but unfortunately cannot be adjusted due to the lack of an included adjustable weighting system. The Sabre Optical RGB has 8 programmable buttons, including by default, left, middle, right click, DPI up and down, forward and back, and an unbound button just behind the scroll wheel. While the finish on the mouse didn't really stand out necessarily, it also didn't leave much to be desired. I had no problem gripping the mouse, however I tried to hold it. I held this mouse predominantly in a claw grip, however, as I do that with nearly every mouse I have because they all seem to be too small for me to be able to actually palm. I asked Linus how it felt in a palm grip, and he assured me that it was a great fit for his hand size. Under the hood, the mouse features dual Omron switches for your left and right click, along with a PixArt S3988 sensor, which I'm happy to say doesn't seem to have any of that acceleration or any junk like that. You may be familiar with this sensor as it has been used before in recent versions of the extremely popular Razer DeathAdder. One thing that I must point out before moving on to the software and lighting modes is a little OCD pet peeve of mine. This is a neutral toned looking mouse with customizable lighting modes so that you can make it match almost any color setup you have. But then the Corsair logo has yellow on it. It's not the worst case of this, since my hand would be on it most of the time so I wouldn't be able to see it, and Corsair is not the only brand guilty of putting unchangeable colors on a product designed to be color adjusted by the user. But it's frustrating nonetheless, because if I was buying it to color match everything in my setup, down to the mouse even, I would be driven crazy by the fact that there's a little random patch of yellow sitting there and I couldn't easily change it. It's just frustrating. Moving on, we have Corsair's Q software. Changing the mouse's performance is a breeze. It comes with a whopping 5 custom DPI levels, which you can quick swap on the DPI up and down buttons while you're gaming. 5 lift height settings and 4 polling rate settings are also included for those of you that wish to tune their mouse just a little bit further. Also, just as a quick note, leave enhanced pointer precision and angle snapping unchecked, especially if you're a gamer or a human. All 8 of the programmable mouse buttons are easy to take advantage of in the Actions tab. You're able to get these buttons to do basically anything from input macros, text inputs, single keystrokes, shortcuts, DPI changes, timers, media control, and even mouse input for whatever reason. All of this in the software is very powerful and gives you a huge amount of granularity to your options, especially once you get to the RGB settings. But this is also where things got a little weird. That whole easy to take advantage of thing that I brought up earlier doesn't really apply to the RGB lighting functionality. Corsair knows this, and so do you if you've watched Linus's video on the K70 RGB keyboard. And Corsair is working on making improvements to their software, but as of right now, it's kind of a mess. They have something like 9 videos on their channel alone just to help people set this up, and all coming from an HCI or human-computer interaction standpoint, it's ugly. I mean, aesthetically, sure, it looks great, but in forms of usability, it's pretty rough. Having tabs in different places with the same name doing drastically different things, and having options hidden away in right-click menus that should really just be buttons are just the tip of the iceberg. If you manage to read the massive 140-page-ish manual and trudge through their forums for a while, you can get the hang of it and do some really cool stuff. But for people wanting a super quick setup, your options will probably be limited to the quick select modes. Even just the inclusion of being able to click on a lighting zone and have an RGB color wheel pop up and allowing you to select a color manually or even put in a custom RGB code would have been a huge redeeming point. But alas, no dice. The Sabre wasn't made for board games though, so we don't need dice, and this conclusion is pretty straightforward. If you're a PC gamer, not a tabletop gamer, the mouse is physically quite standard, and with a reputable sensor and switches. The setup is then augmented by an extremely powerful software package, hampered by an attractive, but also limited UI. It still needs its usability tweaks, but Corsair seems to be building an extremely powerful RGB ecosystem for a consumer base that obviously wants it. It's just, unfortunately, not quite there yet. That being said, thankfully, none of these problems will affect the raw performance, and since they are all software-based, they could be there and fixed in the future, while you have fun with the rest of your mouse now. Speaking of things being pretty straightforward, if you love watching anime, you should definitely check out Crunchyroll. With Crunchyroll Premium, you can watch as many episodes of your favorite anime shows as you want, anytime, anywhere. They have shows like Attack on Titan and an anime series that I personally really enjoy called Sword Art Online. They also have the most current episodes of shows like Fate Stay Night, straight from Japan, which they also will have professional subtitles on as soon as 1 hour after they premiere in Japan. With Crunchyroll Premium, you can watch as much anime as you want, ad-free in beautiful HD on a variety of devices for only $7.95 a month. But if you use our link, that's crunchyroll.com/Linus, you can get a 30-day trial of their service absolutely free. So be sure to check them out in the link in the video description down below. All right, guys, don't forget, Water Cooling Day Part 2 will be coming soon. Part 2, Day 2, I don't remember exactly what it is. It will be good. I actually really liked the first one, so I expect you guys will like the next one as well. The like and dislike buttons are down below if you want to express your feelings. Also, don't forget to stay subscribed for all the rest of our Linus Tech Tips content. Comment in the description down below what you think of this mouse and what you think about the trend of just RGB on everything. Or jump over to the forum and comment there. If you don't like the ads on the forum, become a contributor. Click the Support Us button to change your Amazon link so that we get a small kickback whenever you buy anything. And there should be a link in the video description down below this video to buy an awesome Linus Tech Tips themed shirt. I don't know, but I think our Keep On Digging shirts are even still for sale. Thanks you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time.